Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Tarot Grand Lux by Ciro Marchetti. Website for Ciro is usgamesinc.com at the top here. I wonder if there's another website for him. I'll have to check later. Supportive Oracle cards. You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website for them, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as an apple, U as an umbrella. So if you're interested in that, feel free to freeze frame wherever you need to if you would like that information. What do we have for Capricorn? Capricorn. Okay, why are we saying it that way? Why would we say it that way? Why do I feel like I'm figuring out a code all of a sudden? Kind of like, you know, like one of those secret agent, like, messages. Like, it looks like a normal letter, but if you match these, every fifth letter up, it gives you it gives you the secret message or something. It just feels like something is very coded. It's starting right off in that direction. Is this you? Are you... Something seems very coded. Very, like there's a certain, like, you seem to figure it out, though. Do you figure it out, or are you originating this code? What's going on? This whole code thing keeps popping in. Kind of like, no, I feel like you know what you're doing, and it's almost like you're letting people know what you're doing. It seems very coded. I don't know. I'm like, I didn't expect that to come in. It's almost like, you know, when you have a name for a person that you maybe don't care for so much, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, Justin's going to be here tomorrow. And that's not that person's actual name, but you just, it's kind of like letting you know what's going to happen. Like, maybe that's your code for, like, the inspector. Justin's coming. You know, it feels like a code like that. Something like that. Yeah, Justin's going to be here tomorrow. Because I feel like you're ready for something, and it's almost like, you know, we're giving each other the heads up about what's going on without causing attention. It's weird. I was not expecting this to come forward this way. But okay, why not? Okay, so it's either like you are a part of that, or you're hearing like something doesn't sound right. Almost like maybe you're walking by and you hear somebody say something like that. Like, oh, Justin's going to be here tomorrow. And people are just kind of looking at each other and they're just kind of, something seems a little off. So maybe you're coming into a situation or dealing with something where people are using that type of code. Because I'm getting something is coded. Really, I'm odd. To me, it's odd. It's fine. I'm not upset by it, don't get me wrong. But I just feel like it's kind of a little different. Because there's a mystery with this situation. The moon is showing up. There is a mystery here. If you're not on the in with this code, I feel like at the very least, you hear something said around you like this, and you're like, that doesn't sound quite right. Something sounds a little off. Then you're trying to figure out, is that connected to me, or is that something else going on here? It's like somebody's putting out the message, and they're coding it. I feel like you're picking up on it, like, Justin's going to be here tomorrow. Like, who's Justin, and why did they say it then? Like, it just didn't make sense. Kind of like just the way, and then they just kind of looked at each. Maybe they gave each other a weird look, kind of like, Justin's going to be here tomorrow. It's kind of like, oh, okay. I don't know. You're picking up on it. So if you're not on the in with the code, you're picking up on like something's a little weird. Is this good? Is the question. I don't think this is bad for you. But even if you're a part of that, if you're on the end with it, I feel like you're questioning, like, is this good? Like, is this... I feel like, you know, you might be looking at this like, I don't know. I don't really like being a part of this situation. I don't really like this energy around me. It's like, it just makes me feel weird. Like, I don't like this. It feels a little sneaky. Feels a little underhanded. I don't really care for it. I feel like that's the energy you're connecting to. Like, I don't really care for it. It's kind of sneaky. It's kind of underhanded. Even though it may not be actually that bad, it's just like, I feel like you're not comfortable with it. It's kind of like, I'd rather that didn't go on. because somebody's holding secrets back. This is a heads up that somebody's holding secrets back. So again, if you're on the end with this, I feel like this is about somebody who is holding secrets. This is almost like a tell. They're not telling you what their secrets are, but it's kind of like a tell that this person holds a lot of secrets. It might create that air of mystery around them, but it just seems like I just don't feel like I like it. Because when I get the automatic writing, I'm getting more of like a book of secrets, and I'm getting this person holding secrets close to them. I'm more of an intuitive reader, so I know it says automatic writing, but I'm getting like it's secrets. There's a lot of secrets here. And I feel like it's weird. I feel like it's going to make you uncomfortable. I feel like I'm not about the secrets. I'm about investing, and I need to kind of realign this to work for me. I feel like you're going to figure out, if you're not on the end with this code, I feel like you're paying attention. You might like, oh, Justin's coming tomorrow. You heard that. So you're just waiting and you're watching. You're like just trying to pay attention, like, who's coming tomorrow? And then when you find out who it is, even it could be when they actually show up. For example, say it's the inspector or something. And you're like, the inspector. And they're looking at that person's stuff. So that's why they told that person Justin's coming. It looks like they were giving them the heads up that the inspector's coming. But I also feel like I'd be looking at this like, why didn't they just say that? Like, why did that have to be... Like, why did we have to be secretive about that? I feel like I'm looking at this and I'm just kind of like, why were we doing it that way? Like, that's a little uncalled for. I feel like I'm looking at this and I'm not really impressed with it. I'm a little aggravated with it, but I'm trying to, like, understand what's going on and, like, why are we playing these weird games? The Three of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and then that last card that was on there doesn't... Well, I think it might be separate, so let's just give it a second. If this, for example, something like that played out, it's almost like, for example, if you work in a shop or if you work in a situation, and maybe there's certain people who get all tense and frazzled when somebody like that, or like, the boss is going to come to check things out. There's going to be like a check to make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, or somebody's doing a spot check, or the inspector's coming, whatever. There's certain people who become a little bit frazzled with that, or get a little bit uncomfortable. So instead of letting that be an issue, this person tells only certain people, and they use that code like Justin is coming, because they don't want the people who are a little unstable to get excited if they don't need to, because then they become difficult and then they have to deal with them and they don't want to deal with those people. Because it's something about anxiety or some type of fear-based energy, and I'm getting it has to do with people getting along and how, like, oh boy, oh, the inspector's coming, oh, I don't have this ready, oh no, I do everything right, but the inspector will find something wrong with this, they will, because they always just look for something. Like, it's almost like they're trying to avoid that energy, so they're only telling the people they feel like they really need to tell, so that way they're going to tell these certain key people. Those people will make sure everything's up to par without letting the majority of people know why they're doing it, so that way the discord doesn't happen. And that way they can move on from it. The situation, whatever this is, I don't feel like it's a big deal, but I feel like you're getting the heads up and you're noticing this, how things are worked out, and I don't think you really care for it. Even though you understand, I don't know, even though I might have just explained it and you understand how that could apply, still don't think you're going to be like on board with it. Still like, no, I still don't think that's right. Because you're fine and everything's okay with you, but I feel like I still don't like how it works out. It worked out okay. The situation does work out okay. But I feel like, there's something about this you're going to have a little bit of like, I don't like how that worked out. I'm not really comfortable with it. You're very conflicted on what's going on. Because I feel like you're seeing it for what's really going on here. Like, they're not giving people a chance to get used to things. This isn't how that should really work out. Because it kind of makes people feel like, these inspections just pop up out of nowhere, which is not the truth. There's actually a few days, if not a week beforehand. They could have all this time to prepare and get used to the idea. I feel like you're looking at this like, I don't like how that works out. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. Sure, some people get frazzled, but maybe they just need more time to think about it, and they need to start getting used to it. This sugarcoating, this kid glove thing this isn't good. This is not the way to handle adults. I feel like that's how I'm also looking at this. I don't see you saying anything right off, but I do see you very conflicted with it and not liking it. I feel like within the next 3 months, I know it's a general read, but I'm getting it, so I'm going to say it. You're going to have to bring it forward. I feel like you probably will. I almost feel like this is kind of like a heads up. Like, this is going to annoy you. And sometime in the next 3 months, you're going to say something and you're going to bring it forward. That this is happening. I don't know if you're gathering more information. Some of you might be gathering more information and kind of like getting some examples together to prove that it's happening. That way somebody can't be like, I don't know what you're talking about. You may have not only get some more examples together, but also like give a couple other people a heads up so that they can look with you and be like, pay attention. You'll see when certain people are coming. They'll use the Justin's coming tomorrow or something like that. I feel like you're kind of like, I'm not going to get into this situation without proof. I'm going to prove that this is happening, and I'm going to get some backup with it because I don't like it and I want it to stop. I'm getting the Four of Swords and the Seven of Swords, but I'm also getting the Fool here. I do think this is going to go in your favor in the next few months. But I also feel like the people using this code, if you will, don't seem to have to really pay for it. I don't know how to explain this. Like, I feel like when you come forward, you're going to have the information, you're going to have enough backup, and other people seeing it that it's going to be obvious that it is happening. And I think it's going to stop immediately, which is very interesting to me. But I almost feel like that's why the Fool card's showing up. Like, they don't realize that people are paying attention. And then when they realize that people have noticed, they're just going to flat out stop. I don't know why, other than I just feel it like coming to an abrupt end. Part of it is this Seven of Swords, kind of like, it's almost like somebody else is coming in from the side saying, listen, you need to stop that right now. If one more person complains, there's going to be an issue that you're not going to like. Something like that, kind of like, no, or maybe somebody from the legal department coming in saying, this is why that could legally become a problem. If you do that again, we might have to fire you because we need to protect the company first. So if anybody else complains, blah, 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 blah. Or if this, and that, blah, 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 blah. It might be a legal connection with this because I keep getting this code and I get like, to the people doing it, they don't think it's a big deal, but to the people around it that don't like it, it could be creating some type of discord, and I get it's like shut down fast. It looks like nothing bad happens. I do feel like it ends abruptly, though. And you do get the Four of Swords, like healing comes in, and it changes the situation. I don't know, it's weird. To me, it's just a very odd one. Because I feel like you notice this behavior, you don't like it, you take a minute to really think about it, see if there's more examples of it going on, see if other people are noticing it. And then within the next 3 months, I feel like you're calling it out in some respect. And once you call it out, it literally just, poof, it's gone. It just stops. It's just kind of like, nope, that's not allowed. You can't do that. Stop it. And there might be even, for example, like, Justin is coming. It's maybe an insurance person coming or an inspector, whatever. Instead of that being an issue, there might be somebody maybe in the office who like knows when all these people are coming, and now they're going to start posting when the inspectors are coming and what time we can expect them and how often they come and why they come. There might be information coming out like that information isn't held back anymore. As soon as they know, they're like, well, we know every now and then, like every quarter, they let us know if they're going to check on us or not. And once we know, we usually have 1 to 2 weeks before they show up. So we'll let you know every quarter if an inspector is coming or not, and then we'll let you know as soon as we know how much time we have before the inspector shows up. So that way nobody's shocked, nobody feels like they're caught off guard. Because I feel like you might even be looking at that kind of like, that's why some people get upset because they don't find out till the day before, or that's how they used to do it, then that would really make people uncomfortable. Kind of like, well, I have one day to get everything together, and I got a lot going on anyway, and then you making me move everything around, and I have to make sure everything is picture perfect. If you give somebody a week, they can have everything set, everything can be nice, they don't feel that stress. So it's like the situation is creating its own problems, and by this happening and you calling it out, that whole schism is removed. That may be another reason why it disappears quite quickly, because other people are noticing it for the problem that doesn't need to be there. It's like a problem that doesn't need to exist. And by calling it out and getting rid of that code thing, it seems to wipe away most of the problems. It's kind of like the way information is being handled is actually why there's a problem. So we're correcting how the information is handled, there's no longer a problem. Are we good? All right, I think we're done. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thank you again for watching, and have a great day.